Hello, it's me, absolutely nobody, and I want to talk about Furina. She's coming back. Her rerun is so close. This is not a drill. And I'm so excited. A Furina rerun is always an exciting time, I think, for the community, especially because she is still such a strong character. And this is what I really want to focus on right now. There's talk about her kind of falling off because of not Krai and lunar reactions, but I beg to differ. So let's talk about it. On the screen here, you'll see the most recent Stygian Onslaught. This is my Dire Drake clear under 180 seconds. Actually, this is kind of like a recreation. I didn't save that run. I should have. Or did I? No, I don't think I did. But here you'll see that Mavuika and Furina are my two main DPS for this team. And this is like currently our end game. And Furina is such a big contributor. Without her, I would not have been able to clear this because I wouldn't have been able to, have the DPS necessary. And C6 Furina really cut through when she needed to. And this is why I feel like if you are on the fence about C6ing this character, just take the plunge. Unless there's somebody else you really like or love, or another playstyle you'd like to embrace, like for example, Veressa. It's a very different playstyle. Go that route. But if you really like Furina and you want to see her do big numbers, you will not regret having a Furina. There's just so much you can do with her. Now, that said, I continue the Stygian Onslaught run using Furina against all of the bosses just to see how she contributes. I'm not going to talk about them specifically, but I will say this. She does contribute even on these floors where her kit isn't used to, the maximum. Furina, I don't think will ever fall off with high investment. And her relevancy is something that's kind of not necessarily debated at the moment, but I think a lot of players are kind of hinting at her falling off simply because of lunar reactions. But I beg to differ. Her kit is so powerful, not just because of her burst, but because she provides sub-DPS. She has really high Hydra application for a long time, for the duration that of her minion summon. That's pretty high uptime. I feel like the highest uptimes generally have a short duration, but she has so much of everything, and it's a fair amount too, I believe, while doing a okay amount of damage. On top of that, she heals. She gives you life. And then on top of that, her artifacts and her weapons can also buff your team. She can hold Ki, which can buff your ally Elemental Master. Really big for not Krai right now. She can hold Tenacity of the Millilith, which buffs attack. I sometimes have to use, or have had to use, Furina on Tenacity of the Millilith, even though she's C6, just so that my main DPS for a very limited boss, so I can actually do enough damage to a very limiting boss. For example, I think we had a boss at some point in Dire Stygian Onslaught that you could only use cryo damage against. So I used Skirk, and oh my god, without that Tenacity of the Millilith, I just couldn't clear it. She's not well invested. My Skirk is not well invested. But the moment I got that Tenacity of the Millilith, I can't say it anymore. Tenacity of the Millilith on Furina, I was able to just fly through it. It's these aspects of her kit that just make her so strong. And base level, Hydro is an amazing element to apply because it has so many fantastic reactions attached to it. Hydro characters are very fortunate because the base line for their ability to function and contribute to a team is kind of low in my opinion, since there's so much access to reactions. Counter to this, Geo characters, they're very limited in reactions, and in turn, their overall kit just has to be really meaningful and able to contribute. But that's different for Hydro characters. This boss that you see on the screen right now, I initially cleared it with Veressa and Xingqiu. Xingqiu does not work with Veressa. She doesn't rely on auto attacks, but simply because he applied a Hydro aura to Veressa, she was able to apply Hydro while she's dashing around and plunging. And that's just how strong Hydro characters can generally be. They just need to throw on the Hydro. So yeah, this is to me why Furina will always be strong. She has everything that you need in one package, and if you hyper invest in her, you just double up on it. Next, in the Stygian Onslaught, even though 2 of the floors were basically designed for Lunar Charge and Lunar Bloom, other characters, older characters, could still clear this with Furina. You could have taken any other character that could have, like for example, Mavuika. Oh no, that's not a good example. Varessa on the Fatui boss guy. She, with Furina, definitely clear easily as long as you have high enough investment, be it in substats or whatever from farming artifacts. But Furina would help you get through that, no doubt about it. And you can bet your last bit of money on Hoyo never fully abandoning old characters. Right now we're seeing bosses where lunar reaction damage is kind of privileged and extra strong. But the alternative is the normal reactions like Bloom. On the other side, with the Fatui boss, the lunar damage did provide more of a boon to your team while defeating the Fatui boss, but electrocharge damage still did the job. So Furina's contribution to your team, to your account, will always be present. Never think otherwise. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting Furina, if you want her, definitely shoot for her. Unless you're curious, or unless you're very keen on maybe Columbina or something else, then wait. But generally, you're fine. I think players who are newer and only have not Krai characters might want to wait a bit and maybe focus on not Krai lunar reactions. And you might want to wait for Columbina, but otherwise, I think you're fine getting Furina. You should be excited to get here. Anyway, I'm rambling and I should shut up now. I feel like I'm talking too much. All right, bye. Good luck.